yesterday, there was a thread on Reddit wherein the poster of said thread posted a picture of their new revolver and a picture of the loads that they are going to use in said revolver for home defense. When it was pointed out that the loads that the individual had chosen were about as useless as a boar hog with tits, he got kind of defensive and then said something along the lines of, well, I don't want to kill anybody. I just want to warn them off if they break into my house or something. Look, nobody wants, or nobody with an ounce of sanity wants to kill somebody, okay? Taking of another human life is a pretty big deal, and unless you're not wired right, it's something that will stay with you. Good, bad, or indifferent, it will stay with you, and it will forever color the way you look at the world and the way you interact with other people. Now, that's not to say that some people, just don't need to be killed, because quite frankly they do. Okay, but it's not something that we wish for. Okay, it's one of those sad necessities of life. And the fact of the matter is that if you come into my home uninvited, or you attempt to hurt a member of my family, or you attempt to hurt me, I'm going to have to assume that you have bad intentions, and I'm going to react accordingly. And unfortunately for you, you're putting me in a position where my only reaction is deadly force. Now, if you're going to have a gun in your home for home defense, and your entire thought process is that you don't want to kill somebody, you just want to warn them, buy a fucking rape whistle. Buy some mace. Buy a taser. Buy a baseball bat. Build a scarecrow. Get a dog. But don't buy a gun. Don't own a gun. Don't carry a gun. Don't have a gun in your home. Because you don't have the right mindset for it. If you can't reconcile yourself that you may, God forbid, have to take somebody's life, then a gun is not the right tool for the job for you. I support that decision. I applaud that decision. I will never look down on you for not wanting to kill somebody. But if you can't accept that fact, then you don't need to have a gun in your house, regardless of whether you're going to load it with silly little 410 shells. Okay? That's not the point here. The ammunition that he chose isn't the issue. His mindset behind choosing that ammo is the issue. And the thing is, you see that a whole lot. You're starting to see that more and more, actually. And the problem is this. Let's just pretend for a second that Rusty is a bad guy. And the fact is that Rusty's like the nicest guy in the world. Okay? For a ginger, he ain't half bad. But let's pretend Rusty's a bad guy. Let's pretend that Rusty is a tweaker. Okay? And if you've ever seen Rusty, you know he ain't a tweaker. But let's pretend Rusty's a tweaker who happens to like to, I don't know, rape dogs and kick women and stab things. Okay? Well, Rusty the tweaker decides that he wants to rape my dog. So Rusty the tweaker who wants to rape my dog decides to break into my house to rape my dog and steal my PlayStation 3. I shoot Rusty the tweaker because I don't want my dog raped, and I like my PS3. But I don't shoot Rusty to kill, even though he's got a knife and he's a big dude and he's a strong dude and he's high as a kite, and he's in my home, and I'm well within my rights to use deadly force to protect myself in my home. But I don't shoot Rusty to kill him. I shoot him to wound. The first time I open my pie hole and say that to a cop or a judge, I'm going to jail. Because the attitude is this: if you are not in fear for your life, you have no reason to point your gun at another human being. This isn't the movies. This isn't Rambo. This isn't video games. This is real life. And if you point a gun at something, you have to be willing to destroy it. You have to be willing to destroy it, and you have to follow through on that willingness if the circumstances require it. Shooting somebody to wound is the fastest way in the world to land your ass in a whole lot of trouble. Because the judge is going to turn around, or the DA is going to turn around and say, well, you obviously weren't in fear for your life because you didn't try to kill the person who was assaulting you. So now you're looking at a case of aggravated assault or attempted murder or, assault with grave bodily injury, or however your state or locality terms it. Regardless, it's a felony, and you just went from being a victim to being a felon, and you did it in about 3.5 seconds. If you're going to have a gun in your home, if you're going to have a gun on your person, get comfortable with the fact that you may have to use it someday. And if you do have to use it, you have to be fully prepared, willing, and able to take another human being's life. It doesn't mean you have to enjoy it. It doesn't mean you have to get off on it. It doesn't mean you have to look forward to it. But accept it, because it is a possibility. Also, don't take that fucking gun out of your holster unless you're planning on shooting something or somebody. See you guys next week.